guys, here we are with this third question from second exercise basically. So I hope by now you are pretty much clear what these ratios, corresponding ratios, right? These, by the way, ratios are of corresponding coefficients of x and y when you look into a pair of linear equations, right? So I hope by now you know the significance of a1 upon a2, b1 upon b2 and c1 upon c2, right? So we will compare these ratios for the following given 5 pair of linear equations. I hope you can see the 5 pair. That's the first pair, then the second, the third, the fourth and the fifth, right? So one by one for each pairs we'll be checking these ratios, and what will we infer? Actually, what will we understand by checking these ratios? Yes, we'll understand that their graphs will either intersect, or whether the pairs will have the graph parallel to each other, or both the equations will have their graphs coincident. Coincident means that they will not be independent. I mean, both the equations are depending on one another. Alright, so I hope you also know that the pair of linear equations are called consistent when they are solvable. Solvable means when the solution is possible. So it's only possible, yes, when you have pair of intersecting lines, right? Or also coincident, or the case of coincident. And the system is inconsistent whereas when the two lines are parallel. I hope that's pretty clear, right? Alright, so looking into the first one here, we have 3x plus 2y equals 5 and 2x minus 3y equals 7, right? Let's just quickly compare the corresponding. I'll just do it in detailed way for the first pair, and then I hope you can all catch on after this. So I've written the pair of linear equation in two variables. Now a1 upon a2 is nothing but 3 by 2. b1 upon b2 is 2 by negative 3. c1 upon c2 is 5 by 7, right? Now, first check, you need to check that are they in the reduced form? That is, they should not have any other common factor other than 1, right? Highest common factor. So yes, they are all reduced. Now you see whether either of the following conditions are fulfilled, that either a1 upon a2 is not equal to b1 upon b2. I think you know that case. Yes, that's for intersection. Or you could have a1 upon a2 equals b1 upon b2 not equal to c1 upon c2, right? That's for, yes, parallel case, right? And then we have for the coincident case that a1 upon a2 is equal to b1 upon b2 is equal to c1 upon c2, right? And remember, these two fall in which category? Yes, for when the pair of linear equation is consistent. And this, by the way, on the other hand, for inconsistent. Okay. So as you can see here, the very first two, that is a1 upon a2 is definitely not equal to b1 upon b2. We don't look further. So this is in itself fulfilling, yes, the first case, that is the lines are intersecting. Therefore, this first pair of linear equation is consistent. That is, you can solve for x and y uniquely. In fact, you can solve uniquely for x and y. Having said that entire thing, let me erase this stuff here, right? So let me write that this is consistent, first one. What about the second one? Second one we have is 2x minus 3y. Okay, I think you can see the equation very clearly. Let me just quickly go ahead with the ratios. a1 upon a2 is 2 by 4, b1 upon b2 is negative 3 upon negative 6, and c1 upon c2 is 8 by 9. Let's reduce the ratios. That will become half, and this will as well become half, and you have 8 upon 9, right? What do we see, guys? Yes, a1 upon a2 is equal to b1 upon b2, right? But together they are not equal to c1 upon c2. And I think you know this. This case arises for, yes, when the lines are parallel to one another, and therefore the system is inconsistent. You cannot solve for x and y. So this is inconsistent. What about the third one? In the third one, guys, we have, check the following: 3 by 2x plus 5 by 3y and so on. a1 upon a2, that's a1 upon A2 is 9. B1 is this upon B2 is negative 10. C1 is 7. C2 is 14. Let's reduce things which can be reduced. So this would become 3 would take away 9 3 times. 3 into 2 is 6, right? So 1 upon 6. This is 5 upon 3, okay? If let me just write that again. That's 5 upon 3 there. 5 would take away negative 10, negative 2 times, right? So leaving you with negative 1 upon 6. And this here, on the other hand, you have half. What do we see, guys? Yes, A1 upon A2 is not equal to B1 upon B2. Just that. Okay, there's no now to go ahead and look further for C1 upon C2. If this is fulfilled, that is A1 upon A2 is not equal to B1 upon B2. I think you know what would happen. Yes, in this case the lines are intersecting, therefore the system is consistent. Similarly, let me now speed up a bit and look for the fourth one here. We have 5 upon negative 10. That's A1 upon A2. B1 upon B2 is negative 3 upon 6. C1 upon C2 is 11 upon negative 22. Okay, that would become negative half. That again negative half. And this is again negative half. Okay. So guys, we have all the three ratios equal. And you can make that out pretty clearly that this would happen for, yes, this case for which the lines are coincident, right? Coincident. So let me just write it here that system is consistent. You will have infinite solutions, right? All values of x and y for which this equation is satisfied is also fulfilling the second one. Alright. What about the last one? We have 4 upon 3, right? That's our first equation and that's the second, right? 4 upon 3, that's A1 upon A2. B1 upon B2, C1 upon C2. Let's reduce that. That becomes 2 by 3, right? I mean 2 would take away 4 2 times. 2 by 3 this is 2 by 3 already, and that would become again 2 by 3. Alright, we have all the three ratios equal to one another, and that only arises when you have lines coincident. I mean they are the same line. So yes guys, the last pair is also consistent. In other words, yes, it's solvable. Alright, I hope that's it's pretty clear for all the 5 pair of linear equations in 2 variables. Hey guys, here we are with the next question. Now herein also we are asked to check which of the given pairs are consistent or inconsistent, right? And if consistent, that is, if solvable, we need to also obtain the solution graphically. Alright. So for the graphical solution, I'll be discussing that in the next video. For now, let's just quickly check whether they are solvable or not. Okay. So for the first one, the first pair we have x plus y equals 5 and 2x plus 2y equals 10. I think it's pretty clear, right? If you just multiply 2 in the left and the right hand side, yes, these two equations will become same. In fact, they are, yes, coincident lines, right? Even you can also check that with the ratio comparison. A1 upon A2, B1 upon B2, and C1 upon C2. Reduce them. So that's already reduced. A1 upon A2 and B1 upon B2. C1 upon C2 can be reduced to half as well, giving us this information that all the three corresponding ratios, right, for the x coefficients, for the y coefficient, and for the constant coefficients, all of them are equal. Therefore, yes, the two lines are coincident. So the system is consistent. Alright. And what about the second one? The second one we have 1 upon 3, negative 1 upon negative 3, 8 upon 16. Alright. So that would become 1/3. Again, B1 upon B2 is 1/3 as well. And C1 upon C2 is half. Now as you can see, A1 upon A2 is equal to B1 upon B2. But collectively they are not equal to C1 upon C2. So yes, this tells us that the two lines that you will graph actually, they will be parallel to one another, right? So this is inconsistent, you cannot solve it. Alright, what about the third one? Quickly checking with that. 2 upon 4, 1 upon negative 2 and negative 6 upon negative 4, right? Okay, so that becomes a half, and then you have a negative half, and this is 3 upon 2. Very clear from the first two ratios that a1 upon a2 is not equal to b1 upon b2, and that's sufficient to say that the two lines are intersecting and therefore the system is consistent. Alright, the last one here we have is 2 upon 4, negative 2 upon negative 4, negative 2 upon negative 5. That becomes a half, this as well is half, and this is 2 upon 5. Again check, a1 upon a2 is equal to b1 upon b2, but collectively they are not equal to, yes, c1 upon c2. Therefore, this tells us that the last pair here is, yes, inconsistent. That is, the lines are parallel to one another. It's inconsistent. Let me write. So since we have spotted that among the 4 pairs given, only the first and the third pairs are consistent, therefore you can only solve for these two, whether algebraically or graphically. So okay, let me just solve them graphically in in this video as well. So let me just bring a graph here right now. I hope you can see the graph. Alright, for the first pair, let me write down the pair x plus y equals 5, 2x plus 2y equals 10. In fact, the first one is quite simple. Since both the equations are what, guys? Dependent. They are not independent, right? You can in fact write the second equation same as the first one, right? See, we have the same one. So it means that we will just get one line. So if you just prepare a table of x and y to get just 2 points out of this, so that we can graph it. So if x is 1, then y is 4. If x is 2, y is 3, right? 1 comma 4, 2 comma 3. Let's plot that down. 1 comma 4 is here, 2 comma 3 is here. Okay, if you pass a line through these 2 points like that, I hope you can see the line. Okay, so what does it mean? It means that, let me extend this line to the other side as well. Alright, this implies that both of these linear equations have the same line. Has the same graph, line as their graphs. So every solution to the first one is also a solution to the second one. Okay, so you can say there are infinite solutions. Okay, not just 1 comma 4, not just 2 comma 3. Okay, in fact 5 comma 0, 0 comma 5. Okay, any two integers that you can think of that will add together to give you 5. For example, negative 7 comma you will have, okay, to write 12 here, negative 7 comma 12, right? And so on. There are many solutions, infinite solutions for that matter. So let me just erase this and the graph. I hope you understood the graph and this table as well. Okay, and let's get down to the second pair. In fact, this third one here, which is solvable. We have 2x plus y negative 6 equals to 0 and 4x negative 2y negative 4 equals to 0. So if you just prepare a table quickly, these 2 points would be sufficient, right? So what if you took y to be 0 here? Okay, I'm talking about first this equation, 2x plus y negative 6 equals to 0. What if y is 0? Then you will have x as 3, right? And guys, what if x is 0? Then you would have y as 6. What about the second equation in the pair? 4x minus 2y negative 4. Preparing the table for the same. Alright, so here guys we have what if we make y as 0, so x would become 1, right? And what if x is 0? If x is 0, you are going to have negative 2 as y, right? So first making a line for these two coordinates 3 comma 0 and 0 comma 6. 3 comma 0 is on the x axis here. I hope you can see, okay, see the red point, that's 3 comma 0. 0 comma 6 is here on the y axis, the orange point. Okay, let's pass a line through these two. Let's choose the green color. Okay, I hope you can see the line. Let me extend it to the other side as well. Alright, like that. And what about these second equations giving you coordinates 1 comma 0 and 0 comma negative 2, right? So 1 comma 0, again it's on the x axis here, this black point, and 0 comma negative 2 on the y coordinate here. Let's pass a line through these two. Alright, so let's choose sky blue color. There you go. Okay, so let me do that carefully. Alright, let me do that again. Okay, and I'm extending the same blue line in the backwards direction, I mean down in the third quadrant direction. Alright, so there you have. And guys, do we see here that these two lines are intersecting here at this point? And graphically you can see that they are intersecting at 2 comma 2, right? So let's check whether 2 comma 2 satisfy for both of these equations or not, right? So if let's say you took 2 comma 2 for the first one, the left hand side would be what? 2 times 2, that's 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 minus 6 is 0. Yes, the left hand side 0 is equal to the right hand side. So 2 comma 2 satisfies the first one here among the pair. What about the second one, guys? This would become 4 2s are 8, and 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. 8 minus 4 is 4 plus 4. Plus 4 minus 4 is 0 again. So yes, the left hand side is equal to the right hand side, right? So yes guys, 2 comma 2 is the common solution to both of them. So it is satisfying, and as we also saw that the third pair is actually consistent with the intersection case, right? So I think that's pretty clear, and you can also visualize it graphically, that as to where these two lines are intersecting, precisely 2 comma 2, right? So guys, I hope it's pretty clear with everyone.